Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Friday, October the 31st. Happy Halloween. The trick or treaters have not begun their nightly or their Halloween rounds yet. I'm expecting them in a couple of hours, but we got candy. We got candy ready if they show up. It's always fun to see little kids. And by the way, speaking of Halloween, did you have a chance to see the Halloween ceremony at the White House? It was Thursday evening. It was just absolutely magical. I mean, you had the president and the first lady and all these kids coming in with their little bags and trick or treating. And I guess they must be the White House employees and their kids. Quite a few, quite a few kids. It was, I thought it was really cool to watch. It's happened before. This is not the first time, of course, that they have this happy Halloween ceremony. But I thought, in particular, the first lady was really gracious, and she would obviously was commenting on the different costumes of the little kids, and she was just absolutely great in doing that. President Trump must have been pretty tired, I guess, from his long trip, but there he was standing for almost an hour. Man's energy is amazing. I will tell you that. I'm impressed. He's 79 years old or 78 years old, and look at his energy level. Now, in all fairness, Air Force One is a very comfortable place to sleep. I mean, you can sleep very nicely on Air Force One as he was flying back, but you still have this, these time zones and all of that affect you. So I think President Trump needs a quiet weekend. I think he's down in Florida. He needs a quiet weekend. Take it easy for a weekend or so. Rest and relax, and then when he gets back to Washington, I guess on Monday or Sunday night, hopefully he's had a chance to rest a little bit because he's had a pretty long week, literally long, and in terms of miles, incredible. I guess it turned out to be a pretty good trip by everything that we're seeing. Trade deals were made, and that's always good. That's always a good that's always a good thing. Well, I have a post over at the American Thinker today, Friday morning, where I'm talking about these crazy attacks on Mrs. Vance, the second lady, the wife of the vice president, and these podcasters who are saying these terrible things about the wife of the vice president. That's crazy. I mean, you can disagree politically with the vice president, that's fair game. But when they start attacking the wife, especially in this case, a mother of three, by all accounts, a very nice person, extremely well educated person, someone who obviously, um, you know, is extremely talented. Why attack the wife of the vice president? What's the point of doing that? Again, you can disagree politically with the vice president, attacking his wife, and then all these they're showing these videos of people apparently making fun of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I don't know, people who do or who engage in that kind of politics. They need to see a psychiatrist. That's all I can tell you, because that's not healthy. That's not healthy. I don't care what your political affiliation is. It's not healthy to engage in that kind of politics. I mean, come on. You got to do better than that. You got to do a lot better than that. If you expect people to take you seriously, you cannot be attacking the wife of the vice president by saying things like, she looks like she needs to be rescued, and blink four times and we'll come over here and we'll rescue you. Come on. I mean, that's just completely out of line. And I like to see, frankly, some Democrat women come down on these ladies who are doing this, because, I don't know who wins when you engage in that kind of politics. The country certainly doesn't win. I mean, nobody wins when you engage in that kind of personal politics against the spouse, against the spouse of the vice president. Come on. That is just absolutely ridiculous. So check out my post over at the American Thinker today. It's just some of these liberal women, and that's who they are. They're just liberal women, have just completely gone off track. And Trump did it. I don't know how else to tell you, but Trump has literally destroyed these people, and they've turned into a joke. That's all I can tell you. Well, I've got a post coming out Saturday morning about Senator Schumer and the election in New York City. As you may know, there's an election on Tuesday in New York City. By all accounts, it looks like Mandani is going to win. He certainly seems to be favoring everybody in the polling data. Again, things could change. Things could change. But right now, all of the experts are pointing the numbers, and the trend seems to be in his direction. He may not win by 15 points like some of these polls are indicating, but he may win by 3 or 4, but it doesn't matter. He's going to win. Anyway, Senator Schumer has not made an endorsement yet. And some Democrats, particularly from the left, like this congresswoman from Minneapolis or Minnesota, is asking, what's the holdup? Why are you waiting? He's our party's nominee. They're saying, look, you always support the party nominee, and you always tell us to support the party nominee, so why aren't you supporting the party nominee in New York City? And I think we all know what's going on. Senator Schumer, who obviously right now he's in the middle of this shutdown, but Senator Schumer, I think, is really caught between a couple of things here. The reality that he doesn't really support this candidate, but on the other hand, the reality that if he doesn't support the candidate and if he doesn't come out strongly in favor of the candidate, he's probably going to get a primary. He may be getting a primary anyway. So I think this is really, in a way, what's happening to the Democrat Party. They're into this area right now where, they're just being, I guess they're just being run by these people like the AOC and that congresswoman from Minneapolis and the other congresswoman from Michigan, and these more radical elements who are really threatening to primary them if they don't get on the bus and support Mandami. I think it's only going to get worse. And if Mandami wins, then I think you're going to see Mandami become the face of the party, and in many ways, more and more Democrats are going to try to follow him. What happens then? Your guess is as good as mine. Just a quick note here: there were a couple of judges today, district judges, who said that the SNAP benefits, this is the food stamps, cannot be stopped. Well, the problem is they have not been stopped. The only reason they've been stopped is because the government is closed. If the government was open, these benefits would go out, just like the paychecks would go out. So it's not that somebody has decided to stop them. Now, the argument is that President Trump can use discretionary money or money, I guess, for reserve or whatever to make these payments. Well, I don't know if he can do that or not. All I can tell you is I heard the Secretary of Agriculture today say that they cannot do that. And so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but a district judge cannot tell the federal government to spend money in a program when the federal government is closed. I mean, that's my thinking here. So these two judges will be reversed on appeal, I'm pretty sure, as they have been. I think President Trump is almost perfect now on reversing these district judges, because these district judges are honestly going too far. They're getting political, which is the worst place for a judge to be. I had an opportunity today to listen to this interview that Travis and Sexton, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, they have a great radio show. You can pick up much of it on the internet. I sometimes do that. I pick up segments. You can also pick it up live on the radio here in Dallas. But a lot of times I don't get around to that, so I just pick up segments on the internet. And they had this fellow on today, Ryan. Let me make sure I get it right. Ryan Girdusky. And Ryan Girdusky is one of these numbers geniuses who gets into these elections and, can look very deep into the numbers and what they mean. And this is basically what he's saying. He's predicting that Mandani is going to win in New York City. That's not a big shock, but he's predicting that. He's also predicting that Virginia, the governor's race, is going to go Democrat, but by a lot less than these polls are showing. The attorney general's race is going to go Republican, and that a lot of that has to do with the terrible Democrat candidate who's running in that race. It's in New Jersey where he thinks things are very close right now, and that's where he believes that there is a pretty good opportunity of a Republican winning. And it all depends on turnout on election day. So if the turnout on election day is a typical election day Republican turnout, he feels very strongly that Cacciarelli could actually win the election by not a lot, but he could end up winning the election, and that would be a huge upset. That would be a huge upset, and that would really send I think, a rocking message. I mean, even if the Democrats only win New Jersey by a point, that's not what was supposed to happen. And I think New Jersey, as we've seen in recent elections, is moving more and more Republican, becoming more and more conservative. And that's something that the Democrats, I don't believe, understand or are paying attention to. By the way, regarding Virginia, he was saying that there is a tremendous support in the southern part of the state. There's a tremendous Trump vote. And if that Trump vote gets out on election day, that there could be maybe a surprise for governor, but he still thinks the Democrat is going to win. So I think this election on Tuesday is going to be fun to watch. It'll probably be 9 o'clock Central Time by the time we hear some results, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on. If Mandani wins, then he's going to be the talk of the town. He's the guy who's going to be on TV from now and for quite some time, and I think he's going to put the Democrats in a tough situation, in a very tough situation. Well, thank you for listening, and very happy Halloween to all of you. I hope you all go trick-or-treating and enjoy yourselves, or at least make sure you have enough candy for when the trick-or-treaters show up later this evening. Bye-bye, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas.